So, there we go. That's fine. Let's go get the oats. And I think we'll get the front loader arms and move those pallets off somewhere. Okay, so now we've got 2 fields to plough. I think we've got a field to seed as well. Oh, I might do that first. Only for 4,500 litres of oats. Not a good yield. Yeah. And the thing is if the graphics card you currently have is good enough. I mean, I'm running this game on full, high resolution, full settings and everything. But to be fair, I don't have to. I mean, as someone pointed out, you don't need 60 frames a second. Your eyeball can't see that. 30 frames per second is actually adequate. However, my former PC and I did get on the beta test for Train Sim World, and I stuck at that for about 3 days. And let me tell you that playing a simulation at 2 seconds a frame or worse definitely is noticeable. Playing Train Sim World like it was a slideshow is a complete joke, and after about 3 days of trying it I just said, yeah, no, this ain't happening. Thanks for letting me on the beta, but my system will not run this. Okay, so that's all that done. Okay, it's probably time to check the fields out. So, what do we got? I'll drive. Zoom out. So, field on the right. Oh, we missed some corn. Shucks. Needs to be ploughed, needs to be limed. Okay. That is ready to plant. I think the field over there is planted, and the field at the front over there is already planted. So we have 1 field to plant. I think I'm going to do is I'll plant that field first. We can then run the fertilizer over it, and then we can unload the fertilizer, load it up with lime, and lime the 2 fields we just did. It's probably the most efficient way of doing things. Better still, let's check the time. Okay, it's 4:15. Field on our left, right. Okay, that's growing soybeans. And I believe this field up here also needs lime and plough. Okay. Do I just lime everything now? Oh, yes. Yeah, online games, that can be an issue. However, and yeah, despite of the inadequacies of my previous gaming PC, I could play World of Warships on it. But I was playing on the lowest settings. But that wasn't an issue. I could still play competitively. I could not play any other game competitively. And I think I did try a couple, but it was a case of, yes, I can't, this computer is not adequate enough to play competitively. I am at a complete disadvantage. Do I have a line back there? Didn't notice. I changed my mind. Liming doesn't take long at all, seeding takes too long. Okay. That looks like fertilizer. And that looks like lime. Indeed it is. Not a lot though. So, I'm going to fill this up. This will take us through to the evening. Oh, wait. Where's the weight? I think it's over there. Just drive very, very carefully. Keep forgetting that. Obviously with tiny tractors, some of this stuff seriously overbalances you. I have an incredibly heavy weight. Okay, and we'll do the oat field first. Okay, let's see how we do here. Actually, I do remember there was a mod recently for these types of fertilizers, and I never checked. So this is the one I have. That can do fertilizer and lime. That one can too. Or is that the one I have? I can't remember. This one's 1800 litres, that one's 3000 litres. None of the others do lime. That one's a little bit more expensive. Garage, what do I have? CAU? CAU, yeah. So that is a little bit bigger. And I have 1000 litres, 1500 with a cover. 2500 with a cover. Or 3000 with a cover. So anyway, there are now two rear mounted spreaders that you can throw lime out the back of. Very useful for farms like this, Mercury and Maple Farm. This one has been available for quite a few months now, but it's only 1800 litres, so it's very, very small. You do not want to be working on a large map with great distance between your lime supply and the field you're working. Now that's not necessarily a problem anymore, since you could now use a mod which allows you to put lime in auger wagons. I don't have that loaded, but I don't really need it on this map, at least not now. I think the mini map is something that a lot of map authors can have challenges with, shall we say. Okay. Well, like I said, this week I haven't had a chance to watch any of the reviews, so I don't know. The only new mod review I've looked at in the last week was the new truck that came out today, which has the tipper, the slurry tank for moving slurry around, not for spreading slurry on your fields, and a liquid tank which allows you to put water, milk, diesel and something else in it. And in a way it's kind of similar to the old AR frame system I used in Farm Sim 17, which GTX Mods produced. But as I think it was CLP noted, the tipper has very short legs, so the only way to get it on the back of the truck frame is to use a front loader or telehandler or forklift, which is a little bit of a problem. So the thing, I have to go back to the farm anyway because this is empty. The thing with the AR frame is all the legs on the modules were the same length, and you just reversed the truck under them and dropped the module on the back. And it came with more than just the 3 modules. And if you want to see that showcased, that happens on Saturday mornings in on my Lawfolds stream. I first used the AR frame system on this farm in 17. Because you're talking short trucks, 2 rear axles and a steering axle at the front, and I think the bed's probably about 6 meters. I'd routinely cut 6 meter logs to put on the logging frame. Oh, where am I thinking I'm going? I was heading over to field 5. No idea what I was going to do there, but we're going this way. I think I was spreading it on the grass along the edge, but oh well. Now I have bought the Anderson baling pack. The thing is I don't have any use for it on any of my active farms at the moment. Because the silo on this farm takes loose hay, straw and grass, there's really no point in me baling everything up, because if I bale things I have to find somewhere to put the bales. And I don't, bales take up space. Now normally loose stuff takes up space, or you have to buy a mod building to store it in, but on this farm we've already got the silo built in, so I don't have to worry about storing straw and hay and grass. So why bother baling it? Plus I only got one tractor, so now the reason I changed my mind here and didn't start seeding the field behind us is I'm not sure I've got enough time to seed that field before the end of the before I want to call the end of the day, take a sleep and then start the next day. And that has the severe risk of putting the field on mixed growth stages. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing the other work to fill in. It doesn't matter if I don't, for example, finish liming this field, because I can just come back to it tomorrow. There's nothing that's growing that's going to change state overnight. Now, potentially I could end up with weeds on the fields, but yeah, that's not a big deal. Okay, we will drop this box here. Okay. We'll run around and wash that out, because obviously the next thing we want in that bucket is fertilizer, and I don't need to be spreading lime on freshly seeded fields when we get round to it. Not that it's a game requirement, but we'll clean up the tractor a little. We'll wrap the power wash hose around the back of the tractor. Yay, okay. Large tractor. Well, see. I'm kind of partial to that one, but then I'm running two of them on Lawfolds. I'm running the 940, which is 380 horsepower, but it does go back up all the way up to 445 horsepower, and it's a good heavy tractor, solid tractor. It doesn't have much issues with heavy stuff. Tyres you can get regular, wide, with weights, twins, rear twins only, and standard. You can get chrome somewhere. I think the chrome is on the exhaust. You can get Michelin tyres, standard, wide with wheel weights, wide with wheel weights, twins, red twins and standards. So two flavours. But there you go. You're limited to black. That's kind of cool. And white. And regular green. Rims can be white. Green, no. Chrome. That looks kind of weird. Probably looks better outside. And the design colour, I think, is the roof. Oh, it's that bit there. again, grid chrome, which if you catch the light at just the right angle. But yeah, that's kind of my personal favourite and general go-to tractor. What other ones have I used? I haven't used the Valtra S. I'm not a fan of the tracked or split frame tractors. I'd consider the Magnum. That's 409, goes all the way up to 435. Fast Track, I did use that on Lawfolds and I found it wanting. 8R obviously. The S, yeah, as I said, I haven't used the S. I've used the 8700, that's a good tractor. And I've used the T7. I think on one farm the T7 was my biggest tractor. I find John Deere's tend to be fairly well balanced. The T7 is another one that's well balanced. The MF 8700 also. T8, I can assume it's better. Yeah, obviously it's up from the T7. But they tend to be very, very well balanced tractors, and especially with some of the small ones like the Massey we have, can be very squiffy if you load them unevenly. I've never used the Big Bird. I think I've used that Challenger on a job on Lawfolds. As I said, I'm not a big fan of the split frame, where because the problem is if you're turning it so that the frame is split, is rotating. One side of the wheels are going forwards, the other side are going backwards, and when you try and accelerate, the whole thing just gets confused and puts the brakes on and doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, anyway, I am a general fan of Valtra, but I haven't got into the huge Valtras. The biggest one I've got to is the Valtra T, which is a mid-sized tractor. Okay, we'll bundle that in the shed for now. Oops, wrong. So, I will avoid using the new Amazon spreader until they release an update. But thanks for the heads up on that. But that could become my go-to spreader, since I tend to use it, especially on farms this size, for the lime. And a bigger capacity is obviously always much more useful. I would probably need a bigger weight as well. Okay. Oh, hold on. There we go. The problem with the side panel is I can use the mouse to change camera view, which is what I'm doing there. But the joystick on the side panel can also be used for that. But by pressing a toggle button, it changes it to front loader operation. Okay. I'm thinking I might put all of these out. Where do I want them? Very, very careful. There we go. Actually, I might put them in this shed round here. I've got nothing better to put in it. Nope. So we'll put this one next to it. We'll put the lime on the other side. I am not using the variable usage. Right, what we normally find is on equipment that does have a little bit of a problem, people usually produce an update soon after, especially if it's getting bad reviews. Let's close them out. On mod review videos. And so I'm kind of expecting if the Amazon spreader creator wants its mod used, then he's gonna fix the problems. At which point there'll be a 1.1 release, and I might then take a look at it. As I said, yeah, the one I'm using is perfectly adequate, and on this farm I don't have to travel far, so it's not a total inconvenience. But it's only an 1800 litre capacity. Now something like Marwell, yeah, that's an inconvenience because Marwell's huge. Well, the fields are huge, so you're going to have to reload that thing every 5 minutes. Okay, so that's those bags done. I think I've got a couple of things over at the store. We can kill some time getting those. That'll put us up to about 5 o'clock. Or we could plough those 2 fields, or at least one of them. Okay. Oop, don't do that. The reason I have such a big weight